magical star beings, this is Psychic Siren Tara and welcome to the channel. In today's reading we're going to be taking a look at who are you destined to become. So please be aware this is a general reading, only take what resonates and leave the rest. I'm now going to show you crystals. So for pile number 1 we have Amazonite. And we have the card Freedom. And for pile number 2, we have Amethyst. And we have the card Evolution. And for pile number 3, we have this Rose Quartz heart. And we have the high heart chakra with ecstatic bliss. I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, the one that is calling out to your soul the most, and that will be your pile for today. But of course, if you are drawn to more than one pile, always trust your intuition. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I will see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. If you chose this Amazonite crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at who are you destined to become. So you chose the card Freedom. I'm going to go ahead and add your cards on camera. I'm going to pull cards for you. I'm doing this reading a little bit different. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates and leave the rest. So before we add your cards, I want to talk a little bit about this card here with Freedom. I feel you, my pile number 1s, are destined to become the most freest version of yourselves. And I feel you are already a very free-spirited person. And the dragonfly here to me always represents, to me, passed on loved ones. Some of you have a passed on loved one that is watching over you with the eyes here as you become the most destined, truest version of yourself. So since the color of this card is blue, the blue spiritual meaning is usually associated to the throat chakra and our truest expression of self. So I feel you, my pile number 1s, are destined to become a person that is very much free with expressing themselves the way they want in the world, whether it be speaking up for yourself, speaking out about things you're interested in, and showing that version of yourself you want to show to the world. Being yourself authentically and unapologetically and showing up as that version of yourself regardless of other people's reactions. It's the most freest version of you, where you are a free-spirited person and you're expressing yourself. Could be by wearing the clothes you want to wear, by doing the job you want to do. Okay, I feel like it's just about allowing yourself to express yourself in the world and be that person you want to create yourself into, because we have like a little spider web around here. The spider web is created by the spider, of course, and it talks about creating our reality, creating that version of ourselves. So I think for you, my pile number 1s, it's about creating yourself to be that version of yourself that is most truest to you, expressing yourself like that. And since you chose the Amazonite crystal, this lets me know that the most destined version of yourself is where you are healing yourself, where you are having like a relaxed nervous system, where you're able to be yourself in the world. And blue is also a very calming color, a very healing color too. And it is often associated with emotions, in my opinion. So I feel you are destined to be comfortable around emotions and feelings. And with the bubbles here, bubbles represent this kind of childlike joy or wonder for the world. And it's like about having that as an adult as you go into your life, still having that childlike wonder for the world. So this is what I see here. Let's go ahead and pull some cards for you, my pile number ones, and see what shows up. Okay, so spirit guides of my pile number ones. May we look into who are my pile number ones destined to become? We have home. And look at all the eyes here. You are definitely watched and protected by your spirit guides. So the next card we have is air with paradigm shift. And even eyes here. What is it with eyes? But eyes kind of see the world, your perception of the world. Maybe there is some kind of shift in your perception of the world as you become the most freest version of yourself. As you become the most loving version of yourself. As you become this version of yourself that is just able to freely give and accept love from others, but not only to others, to ourselves. It's like you are destined to be a person with a very, very big heart in this lifetime and embody that feeling of love. Embody that homey, comfortable feeling, if that makes sense, to others. I feel your energy is very empowering, my pile number ones, and it's like you are to be treated as like kings, queens, royals by the universe. This is what I see here. So if you've come this far into the reading, I do have a small favor to ask from you, my pile number ones. The last 3 months, 75% of people who watch my channel didn't subscribe. So if you've ever liked any of these videos I've posted, and if you like this channel, can you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button? It helps my channel more than you know, and the bigger the channel gets, the more content I can put out and create for you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all your love and all your support, and I'm sending you so much love. Enjoy the rest of the reading. So yeah, I feel like your perception of love may change in this lifetime, where it's like you view love differently as you start to receive love from like-minded souls that are comfortable with giving love and receiving love. And I feel some of you may come from Libra if you resonate with that. If not, also okay. But I just feel like you're meant to be in your heart space in this lifetime. And that is your most freest, truest version of self that you are destined to become. And as you free yourself, as you become this free version of yourself, you're going to watch not only your mindset change, because I'm noticing this flower of life go into her brain. So it's like the universe is giving you life to become this version of yourself. And with all the stars here, I feel like you also connect to the soul star chakra. And it's like you're pulling information from the universe into who you're becoming, right? And it's like you are shifting your whole reality around you. Not just your mindset changes, your perception of the world changes to what you want it to become. It's not like, okay, you know, my past was like this, so I have to become like this. Instead, it's like, who do I want to become? Who is my freest version of self? And then as you become that, your whole world around you shifts and changes. And with air, it feels very flowy and free, if that makes sense. And your energy just feels very empowering and healing, almost like, you know how they say animals or cats will sit down and heal you with the energy. I feel like your energy is very, very healing because you've picked Amazonite. And I see your life shifting to the happiest version of reality, where you feel the most empowered, where you feel like you can be your true self in the world, where you feel happy and playful, and you want to share that love with everyone. So this is what I see here. Let me pull some more cards for you, pile number one, and see what else shows up. So, who are my pile number ones destined to become in this lifetime? We have lifting the veil with questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. Who are my pile number ones meant to become in this lifetime? We have the courageous peony with multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. Exactly. It's about letting that truest version of yourself be seen. It's not just like, okay, I'm a psychic and this is who you should be. It's more so, who do you want to be? Who do you feel free as? And who do you want to courageously show up as? And that is the version of yourself you are destined to become. Your most unique nature is the beautiful parts of you that are meant to be seen, if that makes sense. And like the courageous peony is opening up here, you know, a flower blooms and it opens up and it doesn't worry about like, oh, is someone gonna pick me, or, you know, this or that. It just blooms and it sits there and it embodies that state of just being itself. And I feel like this is who you are destined to become in this lifetime. Continue being your unique self. I'm hearing that quote, don't kill the part of yourself that is cringy, but kill the part of yourself that cringes. And when you allow yourself, your authentic self, to come out and express itself, then you are allowing yourself to be seen, and you are already the destined version of yourself. And it's about questioning what is unaligned to you. And I feel this has to do with love when it comes to the home card. You definitely have an angel watching over you here, or many, many, many angels or passed on loved ones. But the feeling I get here is it's about questioning what relationships align to you, because you have a lot of love to give. But you know how I said it's not just like about you embodying love and giving love. It's also about you receiving love in this lifetime, and you're so worthy of receiving that love you need, my pile number ones. So it's about having people around you in your circle that are meeting your standards in love, not just romantic love, but I mean, like, it's important to look at questions like, are they meeting your needs? Is it reciprocal love? You know, all of those things take into account, because it's like you're meant to receive the biggest type of love out there that there is in the world and be that embodiment of love on earth. And in order to be that, we need to have people around us that treat our heart gently, that don't break our heart. Because if our only tool, well, maybe not our only tool, but like, if our purpose is here to be love, in order to give and be the most truest and healthiest love, we need to value our hearts, because it's like gold. You know when when your parents get like an expensive item and they're like, don't break this is valuable. Your heart is valuable. So I see your heart as being protected in this lifetime. And sometimes rejection is protection here from your angels. So this is what they wanted to let you know. It's about remembering who you are on a soul level, who you've always meant to be, and creating that version of yourself and letting that version of yourself out to the world to be seen. I'm going to pull some tarot cards for you, my pile number one. So let's see what else Spirit has to say. So Spirit guides of my pile number ones, who are my pile number ones destined to become in this lifetime? We have the Seven of Cups, we have the Four of Wands, we have the Queen of Cups, and we have the King of Wands. We have the Star. At the back of the deck, we have the Judgment card. I always associate this card with the divine and ancestors. So we definitely have a lot of signs here about you being very protected in this lifetime by the divine, or you being that embodiment of divine energy. You could be that embodiment of angelic energy. I just want to check that these cards are straight on camera, and then I'm going to tell you more of what I see here. And then before you leave, just make sure you stay till the end, because I'm also going to be checking out and pulling cards on how to support this most destined version of yourself and how to become that and maintain that. I feel it's also releasing illusions here around. With the Seven of Cups, I sometimes see Seven of Cups as illusions, and here we spoke about questioning things. So I think it's also about releasing illusions associated to becoming this truest, destined, most freest version of yourself. In order to become this version of yourself, we have to let go of illusions like, what are other people gonna think? What are other people gonna say? How are they gonna react? If I speak up in this scenario and I show my true self, are they gonna judge me? All of this, and I guess I'm also learning from this, because I think it's a normal human thing to be scared of that, especially when we've experienced like a lot of criticism, or we have wounds around rejection or not feeling good enough. It's like releasing illusions surrounding that and finding the root reason behind why that feeling is there, but then allowing ourselves to become that version of ourselves without all those illusions. So what I mean by this is, let's say for example, you want to become a singer and you have a really amazing, beautiful voice, but there's like this fear around showing that self because it's like scared of criticism, judgment, this and this and that. But it's not about following that fear in this lifetime. It's about following that love, following your heart. And I'm also hearing giving your inner child that, or not just giving your inner child and your future self that freedom of becoming that version of yourself, so that it's like you're doing something good for them in that moment. Even if there are people that are like mean or this or that, it's like you're doing your future self a favor by taking that leap of faith in the moment and following your heart. And even if there are reactions, that is out of your control. And that is releasing that illusion, knowing that other people's reactions to you is out of your control. You can only focus on you and who you want to become in this world and who you want to show up as. And I feel like you shine really brightly, my pile number ones, with the star card. You're someone that really shines in the world. So as you are destined to become someone that shines like a star, you may have some haters, and I think it's okay. Not everyone is going to like you, you know what I mean? Just like how we think maybe we don't like certain people. It's okay if people don't like you, but it's also okay if there are some moths attracted to your light because you shine so brightly. You know, you may shine so much that moths may, try to put you down because they see how bright you shine. And becoming this most freest, truest, destined version of yourself is shining brightly regardless of other people. Living your life with pleasure with the Four of Wands and finding the beauty of life, finding the color of life, finding the fun in life, and giving your heart freely with the Queen of Cups, but also receiving that love freely and being your most compassionate self as well. I feel like you are naturally in this Queen of Cups energy because you already live life through your heart space and through empathy and love and compassion, and you already embody that energy, my pile number ones. And I feel like with the King of Wands, it's about not only having that side, but also having the side where you are following that passion, following that courage of yours, okay, to become this version of yourself. So now I'm going to pull some oracle cards on how to support this version of yourself as you become this and maintain that for a long time, even through challenges and difficulties. So how can pile number 1 support becoming this destined version of themselves? We have chanting. So maybe saying some affirmations like in the mornings while you meditate, like other people's reactions are none of my business. Other people's triggers are none of my business. Like, what matters is I show myself to the world. That kind of energy, like saying those kind of affirmations to empower yourself with the yellow color here. I think your most destined self is you being empowered in yourself, solar plexus energy. And Spirit is showing me an example like Kim Kardashian. She is literally a superstar. And she's so famous that she's always going to receive criticism. But she's always going to be that in the world. You know what I mean? She's always going to be successful. She's always going to be that. Like, I feel like for you, maybe Kim Kardashian's a bad example to use, but like, it's about being that regardless of what people say, and reminding yourself, your inner child, and you that it's okay to be you in the world. And the right people are going to love you for you as you embody your authentic self. And reminding yourself of this constantly can help you grow into this, where you feel empowered and confident in yourself. So what else? How can they support this version of themselves? We have intuition. We have connect with your ancestors. I was talking about ancestors and the divine. That's so cool. We have family. We have an extra card here. I'm just going to put this here for now. So what I do feel here so far from you, my pile number 1s, is when you connect to your ancestors and the divine, and it's basically your family in the spiritual realms, they're going to give you the intuition and the guidance to becoming this version of yourself. And it's about following your intuition each and every day. And what I mean by this is, let's say today, not every day is going to be the same for you. Let's say today you're really not feeling great about yourself. And your intuition is telling you, I need to go put on makeup and just take a photo shoot for myself, for me to make myself feel pretty. Or it's just an example, doesn't have to be, but maybe that's what my intuition is telling me today. And then tomorrow it's different because I'm not in the same mood I was than yesterday, today. And then it's like, okay, maybe I'm feeling very tired. My intuition is telling me just treat myself and, lie in bed and watch some series. Whereas the next day, I feel empowered when I get a massage or rest. Or the next day, I feel empowered when I'm doing something good for me, or self-care. Or this is about following your intuition each and every day and connecting with your divine ancestors and angels, because they're always there to love you and guide you through becoming this version of yourself. I feel like you may also be destined to have some kind of family 4th house connection. And I mean this in a way of like, if you don't want to have, kids in this lifetime, that's totally okay. You could have, very big friendships in this lifetime if you're not close to your blood family, you could have very close friendships in this lifetime that feel like family. You could have, pets that feel like your kids. You know what I mean? It's just about having that love around you. And then we have take a walk. So with this card, I feel like it's important to stay grounded, and as you walk out in nature, it can clear your energy and clear your mind and just get you thinking and reflecting on what your heart is telling you and what your intuition is telling you and what your heart needs. I'm noticing all this space here, and I feel like this is spirit saying there's always space to grow and there's always space to shine your brightest as you follow your intuition. I'm hearing nourishing yourself. What else, Spirit? One last card. We have read. So getting your imagination going can kind of help you become and stay this version of yourself, because in your imagination anything can happen. There's endless possibilities like space. You know what I mean? And when you're in that imagination, you can always create more versions of yourself, because we as humans are always growing, even with this tree here. And I think that's the message here. Last thing, soak in a bath. So it's important to nourish you, nourish your soul, some self-care here in this lifetime, self-love, doing things for you just because you deserve it, okay? So this was your reading, my pile number ones. I really hope that this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number twos. If you chose this amethyst crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at who are you destined to become. So you chose the card Evolution. Please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates and leave the rest. Let me now look into what I see here. So I feel like you have your ancestors here giving these messages as we see these DNA strands here. I feel like your ancestors are saying you are your ancestors' biggest dream come true. And I'm feeling a pain in my ribs, and usually when I do readings, Spirit talks to me in my own language, like Spirit has created a whole language with me, like keywords, almost like we have inside jokes with our friends. When I feel a pain in my ribs, it's commonly associated to family issues, family problems, not feeling maybe accepted in our family, or having family wounds, or maybe you are a cycle breaker in your family, in breaking cycles and generational curses and wounds, and it's like I'm hearing it stops with me. So who you are destined to become in this lifetime is who you are right now, breaking cycles of ancestral wounds or traumas, and becoming the most evolved version of your ancestors. And as you become this, you are your ancestors' biggest dream and blessing come true. Because when you liberate and empower yourself, you liberate and empower your ancestors. And your ancestors are strongly guiding you into who you are meant to and destined to become, guiding you as you go along on the journey. And I read an interesting thing about jellyfishes a few months ago, and it said God, source, the universe, whatever you believe in, is the top of the jellyfish, that squishy, mushy part representing that unconditional love of source, whereas these little things at the bottom that sting you, I don't know what they're called, we are those all mixed together. And sometimes we tangle around each other and we hurt each other, either intentionally or unintentionally, and it stings for a bit, but we're always connected to source or God or the universe. And it's like as you become the most evolved version of yourself, as you transform into love and empowerment and liberation, you're becoming this destined version of yourself. And I'm noticing these like jewels here on her body. I'm noticing one here by the heart chakra, and just, I think this is the high heart chakra and the heart chakra. So it's about tapping into that unconditional love of source, and giving it to yourself, reparenting yourself is what I'm hearing, and tapping into that love. And it's like, I choose not to continue these cycles. I choose to empower myself by loving myself, but also letting people in my circle that love me fully. And then it's like I liberate myself, I empower myself. And then we have the sacral chakra, the root, and one just below. So I guess it's also about finding safety in yourself, finding safety in connections. As you become this most evolved version of yourself, and having that support by, your guides, your angels are helping you along the way. And I'm hearing it's a journey to becoming this. You know what Spirit is showing me? Like, when we play games and we are having a mission, but then there's like 50 different levels, and each different level we become more of that version of ourselves. Like, you start off with a character, and then each time you unlock new clothes or new powers or, new storylines. It's like, it's a journey to becoming this most evolved version of yourself, and you are on the right track, honey. That's what I'm hearing. So pile twos. Who are pile twos destined to become? We have home and paradigm shift. So it's interesting because these two cards came out in pile number 1 as well. So maybe some of you were drawn to that. I don't know, but if not, also okay. I feel like as you become this most empowered version of yourself, your ancestors send you on some kind of initiation to healing and blooming like a lotus flower, okay? The lotus flower isn't an easy path, because it's like the lotus flower starts off as a seed in the mud, and the mud represents the darkness, the pain, the challenge we go through. And then, we start to heal as we go into the water and start to feel. And then we start blooming above the water into these pink lotus flowers, which represent love. And it's about embodying that most truest, unconditional love on earth and leading by example, I'm hearing, so that you can give and receive that from others, but also from yourself. And I think for you, it's not just about becoming and embodying the heart space. It's about an empowering kind of love needs to be around you. I feel like for you, it's about filling your own heart up and overflowing, and like, not just giving, but also receiving, having reciprocal connections around you, and first pouring into you self-love, and then overflowing onto others and receiving that from others. And I do see you're very destined to become this mystical version of yourself, I'm hearing, and someone that is comfortable with emotions, because I feel like maybe some of you, your ancestors, they were learning lessons around being comfortable around emotions and speaking about their emotions and speaking their truth. And it's also about releasing from your heart space, so we have more capacity to give and receive love. Just like when we empty things in our room to make more space for new furniture, it's like emptying out the old contents of your heart to make space for newness and to expand it even more and more and more to a love that is limitless, not just towards others but ourselves. And I feel like you are meant to have community around you and love around you in this lifetime, and you're meant to be that embodiment of love and transform yourself, but also receive intuitive messages from your heart. And I feel like also reparenting your inner child by allowing yourself to shine brightly in the world and allowing yourself to completely shift and change your reality the way you envision it. Okay, so this is what I see here. I am going to pull some more oracle cards, 2 more, and then we're going to look at your tarot cards. Okay, so before we actually pull the oracle cards, I do have a small favor to ask from you, my pile number 2s. If you've come this far to the reading, the last 3 months, 75% of people who watch my channel didn't subscribe. So if you've ever liked any of the videos I've posted, if you like this video up until now, can you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button? Because it helps my channel more than you know, and the bigger the channel gets, the more content I can put out and create for you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all your love and support, and I'm sending you so much love. Enjoy the rest of the reading. Okay, so who are my pile number 2s destined to become? Like, I feel your whole reality is going to shift and change, my pile number 2s, like, to what you cannot even imagine. And it's like Spirit wants you to live a life that is fulfilled and happy, and where you're having the most love. We have you're not alone, isolation, physical connection, and community. What did I say? You're not meant to be going through this path alone. But maybe some of you are feeling quite alone in the world. And I feel here with wait, it's not yet time, things are being woven. If you are waiting for that community, if you are waiting for, a lover to come your way that loves you greatly, if you are waiting for friendships and community and family, it's like, I think the lesson is breaking those cycles and reparenting yourself and learning from the lessons and not repeating them. It's not like you were meant to learn those lessons, but it's like, it's about questioning it and questioning why our family did certain things the way they did and being courageous enough to go in a different direction. So it's like, maybe people always go to this path over here, but then we're going to this path over here. We're like being a leader in our own way, if that makes sense. Being the one that is different and courageous enough to create our own path the way we want it. And it's like, when you embody this, or as you embody this, it is being created in your reality for you to have that love. So this is what I see here, and it's like, your ancestors are bringing you that truest kind of love, but they're also bringing you a lot of healing right now as you become this version of yourself. And like I said, it's a journey. So let's pull some tarot cards and see what else shows up. I think your journey isn't easy, but you are the strongest one in your ancestral line. To be able to break these huge cycles, my pal, too, is not easy, but you're so strong. So who are my pile number 2s destined to become in this lifetime? We have the Sun card. Yes, you're destined to be happy in this lifetime. You're destined to have smiles, to have laughter, to have everything you want that makes you happy, whether it's love, whether it's family, whether it's a job you want. It's about following that joy within you and creating that all around you and evolving into that happiest version of yourself. I know we can't always be happy in the world, but it's like, if we believe today can be a happy day, we can embody that. And not always will it be happy, but it's like, it's about following that sunshine within you, what lights you up. If a certain talent or hobby or gift you have lights you up, it's about following that and becoming that, if that makes sense. And I feel like a lot of you are intuitive. It's also about becoming your most intuitive self, allowing that to come through. We have the Magician card, so it's not just about, oh, this tarot reader says this is who you must become. It's about creating the version of yourself you want to be. Imagine yourself and who you want to be in a year from now, in 3 years from now, in 5 years from now. Think about, what routine they have, what they do each day, what makes them happy, and become that version of you. And as you do that, you create that paradigm shift in your life to your most happiest and fulfilled reality. We have the Two of Pentacles. So I feel with this card, it's about being balanced through everything, having balance in your life. Um, what I mean by this is we have duality on earth. We have the emotional side, we have the physical side, we have the spiritual side. So your most evolved self is balanced and whole within each aspect, okay, of yourself. So it's not about being in one energy too much. It's about switching it up and being balanced, if that makes sense. Spirit is showing me the Libra scales. So an example of this is mind, body, soul. We can't just nurture our mind each day. We also have to nurture our body and our soul. We can't just nurture our soul. We also have to nurture and nourish our body and our mind. You get what I mean? It's about all of that. So this is what I see here. So who on my pile number 2 is destined to become? We have the Two of Swords. So it's like not making choices from fear, making choices from love, not making the same choices our ancestors once made and mistakes they once made that, hurt the family line along the line, and just carried on passing on those cycles of karma and pain and hurt. It's like I choose to let it end with me, because I even see this as like an X. And it's like you're following your intuition and the guidance of your ancestors. I feel in this lifetime it's about knowing yourself deeply, about connecting to that version of yourself that is, it's like what makes me most happy. It's about connecting to that version of yourself. You know what I mean? And connecting deeply to yourself, because I also feel like you're multidimensional beings and you're not just meant to be in one energy. You are meant to be multidimensional. Like Spirit is showing me the peacock and how the peacock has many different feathers. I feel like you're meant to follow each of that and create in your life with the magician. Create the most fulfilled and happiest version of you. We have the Nine of Pentacles. So in this lifetime, you're also meant to and destined to become, I see this as growth, because the Nine of Pentacles is growth, and then the evolution card, I see it as growth, but I also see it as abundance on your path. Not just material abundance, but emotional abundance, spiritual abundance, an abundance of joy, an abundance of love, an abundance of comfort. You know what I mean? It's about having all of that and planting those seeds of love in your life through everything you do, and growing and growing and growing. And as you plant those seeds, as you water yourself, as you nurture yourself, you are going to grow and grow and grow. And all the work you do on yourself is going to bear fruits, is going to bring some kind of harvest and good luck. And it's about connecting to that version by watering yourself and nurturing yourself and planting seeds of love in yourself, but also others on earth. And it's like, as we do that, as we connect to our heart space and embody love, we are becoming that leader and showing everyone how to love on earth. And we're basically creating a paradise on earth. So this is what I see here. I'm going to now pull some cards for how you can support this version of yourself as you become this version of yourself. It's like your life changes around you as you create it. But how to support it, how to stay this way, how to maintain this most evolved version of yourself. So how can we support this for who my pile number 1, how my pile number 2s are destined to be? How can we support this version of themselves? We have use your hands, so maybe doing some creative things with your hands. If you like to cook, if you like to bake, it's about following that sunshine, following creativity, following things that make you happy. Yeah, that's what I see. We have take a vacation, so I feel like your life is meant to include very fun things like travel, experiences. It's not just about working and getting a lot of material abundance. It's also about enjoying our material abundance. It's not just about, okay, I need to do all of this. It's also about enjoying life, you know what I mean? And having that balance. And when you allow yourself to explore what makes you joyful, what countries make you joyful, what makes you excited, what do you want to do, what hobbies do you want to do, it's like you are becoming that most evolved version of yourself. And it's almost like staying in the flow, if that makes sense. We have spent time with animals, so I feel animals are very healing to you, my pile number twos. You know how they say cats, they can lie next to you and just heal you, but they're also very comforting to you. So when you allow yourself to spend time around animals, nature, explore your reality, you don't have to go on expensive vacations all the time, even. Just even having a picnic outside with your loved ones is like, it's beautiful, you know what I mean? And it's about giving yourself what makes you joyful. Then you have an easier time flowing into and becoming that destined version of yourself. We have here dance. So I feel for you, it's also about dancing, getting free, allowing yourself to express yourself, doing creative things that make you flow and make you happy. And also connecting to that side of yourself that wants to be expressed through creative things. And I feel some of my magical pile may be here. It's also about connecting to that magical, mystical self. So, how else can pile number two support this version of themselves? Last two cards. We have Look for Fairies. Exactly what I spoke about. Okay, three cards want to come out. We have Beauty Ritual. And lastly, we have Drink Tea. So I feel like it's about also honoring that spiritual mysticism side of you, but not just that routine of like, journaling, drinking tea, meditation. It's also about allowing yourself to just relax, because this lady looks very relaxed here. It's like there's no rush, there's no hurry. We can take time and enjoy our life. We don't have to. It's not a race, it's like a marathon. You know what I mean? And we can enjoy and stop and smell the roses as we're on this journey. And we can express ourselves and have fun. And we can make ourselves look beautiful, do things that make us feel good, wear the clothes we want, wear the perfume we want, wear the makeup we want, wear the style, the aesthetic we want. It's like we are almost our character of who we want to be on earth, and we can modify and change our character and express it and just have the most fun in this game of life. And this is what I feel here for you, my pal number twos. So I really hope that this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hi there, my pal number threes. If you chose this rose quartz crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at who are you destined to become. So you chose the card High Heart Chakra with ecstatic bliss. With this card, it talks about connecting and embodying a sort of unconditional love on earth, where you are experiencing love in the biggest form within yourself, like being your most loving self on earth, but also receiving that from others. So this is what I see here. And when you follow your ecstatic bliss, when you follow your heart, you are leading yourself to becoming that destined version of yourself. And it's also about embodying that sense of like unconditional love on earth. The world needs love. That's what I believe here. And you are destined to become a lover on earth, someone with this divine gift of love that spreads love everywhere, that spreads kindness everywhere. And the hummingbird is here, and there is this sort of sweetness with the hummingbird. It reminds me of sweetness. And the hummingbird is also a messenger of joy, of love, of hope. You know what I mean? And it's about becoming that, and not just being kind to others, but being kind to yourself and following what makes you joyful and speaking about what makes you joyful. Becoming that version of yourself is going to make you become that ecstatically blissful version of yourself, if that makes sense. Because, like, what we talk about, what we think about, we become. So it's also about what you talk about that allows you to become this version of yourself, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to pull some cards for you to see what else Spirit has here for you about who are you destined to become. Who are you destined, who are my pile number 3s destined to become? We have the Realm Bridger card. I feel like you are very intuitive, my pile number 3s, and it's about embodying that mystical version of you and letting yourself be that in the world. Because you really have a vision for who you can grow into. And it's also following your intuition and following your heart into who you want to bloom into, as we see a flower blooming here and a butterfly, which is a symbol of transformation. So an important question here is, who would you love to become? And that answers your question of who you are destined to be. And then you're going to bloom into that, see that vision of who you want to be, and follow your heart. And as we see a little plant growing here, you're going to spiritually nurture your dreams. You're going to embody that dream version of you and become that and grow into that and bloom into that. But also remember, a flower takes time to bloom, and you are like that flower, so be patient with yourself. Just like a butterfly, it first starts off as a caterpillar, and then it, goes into its cocoon, and then it transforms into the butterfly with beautiful wings. And I feel like you're going to have your butterfly moment in this lifetime where you are seen and admired for your beautiful wings of love. So, if you've gotten this far into the reading, I do have a small favor to ask from you, my pal number 3s. The last 3 months, 75% of people who watch my channel didn't subscribe. So if you've ever liked any of the videos I've posted, and if you like this channel, if you like this reading up until now, can you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button? Because it helps my channel more than you know, and the bigger the channel gets, the more content I can put out and create for you guys. And I think it's also about nurturing yourself, my pile number 3s. It's not just about being that love for others, but nurturing your dreams, nurturing yourself so that you can bloom. It's like, that saying, something about flowers, and when we speak kindly to flowers, they grow. So speak kindly to yourself too. Imagine what that can do for you. Okay, we have the water card with the overflow. Yes, it's about not just like embodying love for others, it's about filling your own heart up with love and then overflowing onto others and embracing all parts of you. That is how you're going to bring yourself to wholeness, embracing the beauty of life, embracing your dreams, what you want to manifest, and becoming an energetic match to your manifestations. It's about seeing the beauty in the world, seeing the love in the world, but not only that, seeing the beauty and love within yourself and giving that to yourself, giving the love you've always wanted to receive to yourself, and then overflowing onto others. With water, you are also meant to be a person that is comfortable with your emotions, that is comfortable with, crying, that is comfortable with experiencing joy, because then you experience an emotionally rich life. It's like, I'm not afraid to love. I give love freely, and if you can't match up to my level of love, it doesn't mean I am not worthy. It just means maybe you don't have the capacity to give love the same. You know what I mean? And I'm going to go find that. I think you're going to embody that energy where you love and receive love freely, but it's like, it's not looking outside of it, outside of yourself for it, but it's also like seeing the beauty in the world, seeing the joys of the world, and living an emotionally rich life where you experience every emotion with bliss and with gratitude for being here on earth. To be able to feel is to be able to experience life. And that is the message I see here. And also, when you embody who you dream to be in the future, you become that, and you are receiving messages, intuitive guidance from your future self on who you were always meant to transform and bloom into. My pile number threes, it's all about grabbing that reality and becoming that. And you are allowed to become this most happiest version of yourself. You're allowed to become the most loved version of yourself. You're allowed to become the most loving version of yourself, and the universe is supporting you as you co-create with the universe. So this is what I see here. Okay, let me pull some more oracle cards and see what else shows up. I think it's also about being the most vivid, bright version of yourself and allowing yourself to be that. We have the blue flame with spontaneous awakening, activation, and integration time. And it's like awakening to your power as well, awakening to who you are at a soul level, and taking the baby steps to become that. Because it's like I said, a flower doesn't bloom in one day. So it's also about following your heart, and as you do that, you create your path ahead. And as you follow your vision, your future self's vision for you, and you awaken to your power and the possibilities that, you know, who you envision yourself to be is who you are fated and destined to become, then you allow yourself to be that. Okay, and any cracks in, you know, your foundation, or, you know, cracks in your heart will be filled up with this liquid gold, just like, I think it's in Japan when they, you know, take a broken pottery or something like that, and then they fill it with liquid gold. It's like, as you fill up your own heart with love, you fill up the cracks of hurt and pain with liquid gold, and you allow that to become your most abundant, valuable, I wouldn't say item on earth, but you know, like when a character has like a superpower or has this or has this, I think yours is the heart space. Okay? Like, you know, one character can have the power of fire, one character can have the power of water. You know what I mean? I feel like yours is water and the heart. And water is healing, but it's also emotions, but it's also that nurturing, vulnerable energy. So, who on my pile number three is destined to become? We have the seeds of Mintaka with seeing potential and bringing unconsciousness to light. Some of you could, you know, relate to coming from Mintaka, and this is where your divine gift of love comes from. And as you forge this unique path of being that lover on earth, you know, you may get some people that are going through their own lessons of, you know, anger, of conflict. And it's like, if they can't love you properly, it's not your fault. It just means that they don't have the capacity to love at yours. And why I say this is because most Mintakan beings, I myself come from there, we incarnate onto earth to learn a bunch of lessons, and to not only learn the lessons about love, but to learn the lessons of how to have the most empowered love around us. Because we love at such a big rate, when people are mean, when people are acting out of shadow, it's like, it's really hurtful and painful, because we couldn't imagine doing that to that person, you know what I mean? Because Mintakans, they would live in their heart space. It was a planet full of love, and you know, you could feel each other's emotions because of how in tune we were. There was no deception, there was no any of what it is like on earth. But us Mintakans come here to not only learn discernment, but also to learn the most powerful, empowered, healthy love, becoming that, if that makes sense, and not internalizing things others have done to us because it's part of their lessons. And you're not alone going through this lifetime. You're not meant to be alone going through this lifetime. You're meant to have that support and that love around you. And I think your life is supposed to be enriched with that love. But if you are waiting for those connections as you forge your path and become that beacon of light, of love in the world, and see your own potential and become that potential, you are becoming, the brightest version of yourself that shines bright, that follows your heart, that becomes your potential, that becomes who your future self envisions you to be. And it's like, as you walk that path, you're the beacon of light. And you know what Spirit is showing me? When Batman puts like that torch, I think, and then it makes that shape of the bat in the sky. It's like you're doing that with your beacon of light to other people that are living in their heart space, so they can find you easily because you're living in your authentic truth and you're being your most potential of who you want to grow into, of who you want to bloom into. So this is what I see here. I'm going to pull some tarot cards, and then after I pull some tarot cards, I'm going to pull some cards on how you can support this destined version of yourself, how you can maintain this version of yourself, even as you go through hardships in life, even as you go through, situations in your life that make you stumble and fall. It's okay because it's a journey. So let's pull some tarot cards first and then see what shows up today. So, Spirit Guides of Pile 3s. Who are my pile 3s destined to become? I just saw a cat playing playfully with a yarn, I think. So I feel like you're also meant to be your most playful self in this lifetime. And cats are also very independent. You know what I mean? They land on their feet and they have 9 lives. So even if you go through challenges in your life, it's not easy being this beacon of light and being this lover on earth. But as you become that, you fall on your feet. And it's not just about relying on yourself, but it's also about having that support around you so that you can bloom into this version of yourself. We have the 2 of Swords. And cats are also having strong boundaries. So, in order to become this most loving version of yourself, boundaries may need to be enforced. And it's about honoring your emotions and making the choice to honor yourself first before you honor anyone else. And that may sound selfish, but we have to have a balance of love for ourselves and love for others, because if we don't take care of us and we're like deep lovers, I'm like this, then sometimes we forget to take care of us and we forget to speak about our emotions and what matters and what is important to us. So it's about making that choice of not only becoming our potential, but honoring ourselves and honoring our voice and our anger, because our anger shows us where our boundaries lie. Honoring our sadness, because our sadness shows us what we may need to change in our lives. You know what I mean? And it's about having that support around of people that respect your boundaries in order to be and stay this most loving version of yourself. We have the Knight of Swords. And it's also about making choices from love, regardless of what other people are doing. I'm hearing like, don't look at other people, look at you. Like, don't look at what the other person is doing on their path, because their path is just filled with lessons and it has nothing to do with you. Just focus on you and your 2 feet, because you are a leader in this lifetime. And as you follow your potential and become this version of love, it's like you show others how to love on earth. And it's like that is who you are destined to become. And when you just go for your dreams, you just go for your passions and make the choice to not care about what others think or what others' opinions are, you're following your path of who you were always meant to be with the 3 of Wands. And know that this is a journey. It's not a race. It's more of a marathon, but not really a marathon for you. It's more of like this feeling of, I'm on a hike and this hike is my life, and I'm strolling through the forest first. the hike consists of a forest first, and there's beautiful trees, and I'm looking at the beautiful green lush forest, and I'm walking, and then there's a waterfall, and I'm admiring this waterfall, and I'm experiencing love for this waterfall. And then my dog is walking next to me, and I'm cuddling my dog and giving my dog love. And then I'm walking more, and then there's flowers there, and I'm smelling the flowers and enjoying each and every moment. And that's who I feel you're supposed to, or destined to become. It's like enjoying the journey and having love for the journey of life, if that makes sense. And if you don't feel like you're at that place, how can you follow your heart to fill more things up in your routine, in your daily life, of things you love, of things that just light your heart up with joy, you know what I mean? And it's like, even if others are in their shadows, it's lessons for them. Just focus on you and the steps in front of you. Always also remember other people have free will, and who they choose to become has nothing to do with us. It's it's always like about free will as well. You know what I mean? You have the free will to become this version of yourself, to become the most loving version of yourself. But if people choose not to be that, then maybe they can't be around you. You know what I mean? So this is what I see here. Who are my pile number threes destined to become? We have the star. And this is going to sound a little bit weird, but I think it has to do with your reading. I'm smelling my boyfriend's food as he's cooking, but usually I don't smell the food from the room. So I think I was meant to smell it, if that makes sense. And it smells really, really delicious. And it's like, I feel like you are meant to live your most delicious life, your most fulfilled life. And as you shine and follow your path and be that leader, because it's like you are a leader, you are a trendsetter in this lifetime. And as you authentically are yourself, as you honor your heart by authentically being yourself and shining in the world like a star, like a bright star in the sky, it's like people are going to want to follow you and want to become like that too. Do you get what I mean? And sometimes people may, their shadows may sometimes be triggered by the light. So when people's shadows are triggered by the light and they try to instill fear into you or create challenges into your life because you shine so brightly, it's like, I saw this in the reading I did earlier today, where it's like, when you open curtains and you've been sitting in the dark for long, it kind of burns your eyes. And now I'm seeing a vampire in the sun burning. Just imagine them as they have that inner vampire in them, created from hurt and pain that has nothing to do with you. But when you shine brightly, you're like that big sun, and it's making them burn like a vampire, and they're kind of taking it out on you, but it has nothing to do with you. So I think for you, it's about shining brightly in the world, regardless of other people's opinions or projections, and not allowing them to change how you feel about yourself. Okay. And I'm hearing, even if the world is harsh and cruel, it's about, yes, it hurts, and honoring that feeling. It's valid to feel hurt by it, but it's like, I'm not going to allow this in my life. I'm going to enforce my boundaries because my peace matters, my happiness matters, and I deserve to feel loved in the world, like that type of feeling. So this is what I see here. So I'm hearing a quote my friend said to me when she was like, just excuse my language, she was like, if you want to have your life as a paradise, you know, take the garbage. I was gonna say the word shit, but that's what she said. But I'll rather say garbage. Take the garbage out of your garden and grow beautiful flowers. If you don't like the garbage there, then take it out. And the garbage can be people. You know what I mean? So I think it's about like having people around you that respect you, and that's how you're going to know if they love you truly as well. Because I think for you, your destiny and your fate is intertwined with love, and love is important, not just romantic love, but also friendship and community. Okay. Who on my pile 3 is destined to become? One more card. We have the World card, and we have an extra card with the 10 of Wands. I see it's also ending cycles of emotional hurt and pain on Earth. As you become that beacon of love, you end cycles of, carrying emotional pain and hurt and wounds on Earth. It's not an easy path being someone that embodies a lot of love, a lot of compassion, because sometimes people aren't that way to us. And sometimes it can emotionally wound us, and we can carry those wounds around like bags. But it's important to put that bag down because it's not yours to carry. It's not your pain to carry. And with the water here, um, cleansing yourself of that as you walk your path. I think you're also going to achieve a lot in this lifetime as you walk your path and as you end cycles of hurt and pain by being that love and leading by example. And whether others choose to follow is up to them. It's about following you and focusing you, following your heart, you know what I mean, and shining brightly in the world and following your joy as well. So I'm now going to pull some oracle cards on how you can support being this version of yourself long term, regardless of external circumstances. Okay, so how can my pile number 3s support being this destined version of themselves? We have drink tea. I see this as, what we spoke about earlier, protecting your peace. You deserve to live a peaceful life. What can you do to add to your routine? Not just drinking tea, but like, what can you do to add to your routine that makes you feel at peace in the world? That makes you feel like just a love for life. You know what I mean? We even see little crystals here. So embodying your mystic side, embodying that spiritual, magical version of yourself. Okay, we have your connect to your womb, and as per all the energies I saw here, maybe connecting to your womb. I know not all of you are women here, but it's like connecting to the sacral chakra energies because that's where the womb space is. And it's all about connecting to that pleasure for life because the sacral chakra is by the womb space and it's all about the energy of creation. We can create the most delicious reality as we follow and add to our lives of what makes life pleasurable, but the womb also releases. So allow yourself to release, allow yourself to cry, allow yourself to feel. Okay, because that's what the sacral chakra is. It is represented by the energy of water. And as you allow yourself to do that, you see the rainbow here. But your body is also very intuitive. Trust how you feel. If you feel anxious around a certain person, that's probably your soul and your spirit telling you to question it. Why are you feeling anxious? Are they reminding you of someone from your past with certain traits? Are they making you feel anxious? And if they're making you feel anxious, is it certain things they do, certain things they say? How can we communicate that? And if we can't have a safe space to communicate with us, maybe they are not meant to be around us. And if they can't listen to us or hear us, maybe they aren't meeting what we need in love. And it doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means maybe they don't align to what we're trying to create. Because the womb space is also that place of creation. Okay? It's about creating your reality the way you want, the way what your heart is telling you. listening to your heart. How can they support? We have massage. So, treating yourself regularly, getting massages, but just not massages. It's also like if you want to go get your nails done, if you're a woman, getting your nails done. If you want to go play Xbox, go play Xbox. If you want to dance, go dance. You know, if you want to eat chocolate, eat chocolate. Like, sometimes treating yourself can bring us a lot of joy in different ways and following what your heart is telling you, okay? Because you deserve to enjoy life, you know what I mean? Of course, there is balance. We do need to live balanced lives, but I feel like it's not just about one energy. We can't always just work. We also have to enjoy life. We can't always just enjoy life. We also have to work. It's about balancing those energies out, but also doing things that make you relax, because massages relax us and get us into our body. So I think it's also listening and connecting to your body and honoring your emotions, honoring your feelings, honoring what your body is telling you each day, and flowing like water as you go along, letting your heart guide you each day. Because one day we may be super energetic and we can do lots of things, whereas the next day maybe we're feeling more tired and we need to lie in bed and just do whatever, you know? We have create art, so connecting to that artistic side of you will allow you to flow. We have dream journal, and I don't think this is just about, you know, writing down your dreams and connecting to that dreamy version of you. It's also about connecting to your own dreams, connecting to your own visions of who you want to embody in this lifetime. You know what I mean? So, one last card for anything else here. We have spent time with friends. For you, it's important to have that community around you. People you can love, people you can hold on to, people that bring joy into your life. You know what I mean? That bring love into your life. People that support you. And I think that's, you know, you're deserving of that. You're worthy of that. And it is yours if you want to create that in your reality. Because we have create here, create. So, also, when you embody your manifestations of what you dream about, even if, let's say, you don't have friends or you don't have a lover, you know, when I was manifesting love, I would embody that feeling of love and not look for it outside of me, but, you know, I would embody that feeling of love and then I attracted it effortlessly. So, also believing, even if you do not have it in this moment, we can dream it, pull it in from our dreams, our visions, and created on earth by that pure belief and by connecting to the frequency of our manifestation. So, this is what I see in your reading of who you are destined to become, my pile number threes. I really hope that this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye!